Man, I'm starving. Where'd all this chocolate come from? Oh shit!
A few moments later.
Alright, I'm back. Yeah, well, as you heard, or I guess saw, right? Man, my fridge is decent. I obviously have food. Be grateful, I know. It's that time of the year where I just can't eat. Well, more than usual. It's Lent. Wait, what do you mean some people don't know? Nice. Verbal essay time. Well, Lent is the whole 40-day time lapse up to the day Jesus died over 2,000 years ago. Or I like to say murdered, but you know. Wait, you might be asking yourself, how does Jesus' pre-death period affect what I get to eat? Well, I'll raise my arms up to that one. I decided to give up a particular food item. Why, you might be asking? Well, there's a history behind these 40 days. And technically, these 40 days, you don't have to have refusal of food item. Anyways, to understand anything, you know what time it is. We must review the context. Let's start off by saying prayer is anything inclusive of speaking with and to God directly. He's always there. And he already said, if two or more people are discussing God, he's with them. And I like to say that, energy converses through the television as well. So wherever you're watching this from, God is with you as well as he is with me. Let's get it going. Personal reflection. I usually go on my way to try and reflect on my day while it's happening. I like to see my life as like a memory. So I'm already old, probably dead, But shit, God's reviewing my life for me on the TV screen if that's the case. But especially during the 40 days of Lent, this type of reflection is specifically on your personal luxury, your item of choice, action of choice, or desire of choice in this world that you personally feel like is an ultimate want, an earthly need. You can't give up that one specific thing that you are the most close to. I'll tell you what, man, give it up. That's simple, cold turkey. That easy. Jesus gave up his life, man, to give you a new one. And you can't give up something as simple as like a food item. I'm giving up chocolate, man. In my case, that's what you saw earlier, food item. Chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Hey, in my case, I can't eat it. I'll say it 1,000 times if that's what it tastes to just like taste it. I don't know. I'm a fiend right now. All right, back to the point. Yeah, I know. Devil's food, right? Yeah. Even when my girlfriend first found out the phrase was meant for chocolate, she elbow nudged me, because like, come on, knowing me, the devil would be nowhere associated with anything I'm doing. But don't get me wrong, I enjoy like earthly things too. Again, I'm a human. I watch Hell's Kitchen like it's like the only thing ever made for television. Then again, it's a word, bro. It's associated with what you want to make it with. But don't cross the line there. There's that extent to that, right? Grain of salt type stuff. Lots of rife. Whole Sodom and Gomorrah thing. Had to look back because earthly desires. But you gotta remember, like, her whole family was there. Or her new family was running away, Let go of that dirt type shit. Breathe in the water. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. Or am I? Nah, I'm joking though. I love chocolate, and I know I shouldn't necessarily say I love or rely on anything on earth, more than God. I kind of love chocolate in the sense of a family member or a friend. It's kind of that bad, to be honest. I'd rather wake up, eat chocolate than food, bro. I'd rather wake up than drink chocolate, given the chance, than food, bro. Like, it's such a problem that I had to actually stop getting chocolate protein powder just for the 40 days of Lent, because I know, honestly, I'm a human, bro. I can't even risk it. That's why I personally feel like there's 3 methods only to work correctly to beat and win the 40 days with Jesus, if you're willing. That's the thing. Like, if you're gonna give up, you're gonna give up. That's the thing. Like, here's the thing. I believe in y'all because y'all even clicked on this video. You want to know about Lent. If you already knew about Lent and you were gonna do it anyway, congratulations. Stay strong, brothers and sisters, mothers, fathers, everybody. I'm proud of y'all. Congratulations. However, if your vice is not food related, chill out. All 3 mentioned, fasting, prayer, and reflection, or work all the same. Faith is the key here. Jesus opened the door, but you still have to walk through with the keys that he's holding, and he will hand them to you. Context, right? All right, let's get it. In 313 AD? Yeah, alright. I know, crazy. 300 years after the resurrection of Jesus. At the time, Roman emperors Constantine I and Lucius declared Christianity legal right after 300 years of it being held at the highest crime and declared no longer a death penalty. Before, various emperors declared it to be too close to Judaism, which they were trying to be as far away as possible, run the government solely on the ruler, civilians, slaves, that kind of thing. But the rise up of Christianity was just too much, and it became a materialistic type of view. See, Constantine, before declaring victory at the Battle of Merlin Bridge in 1312 AD, he was received a vision from God. In the vision, he saw a cross glowing essence, like a white tunnel. He wasn't dead, he was receiving new life. A secure vision of his victory further in the battle. It was meant to unify the empire as a growing political belief of Christianity, and as so many of the civilians were ready to grow, he saw it as a sign that to accept it and it would strengthen his kingdom. Upon receiving the vision and winning the battles, of course, as all people would when they accept God, the belief of the Christian God, the true God, only grew in the eyes of the emperor's headstrong, replacing all signs of past idols, false gods, and of those Hebrew Greek beliefs, many as we know Christians and Catholics know as the fallen angels. Now, don't get me wrong, although visions and viable change towards the true God although it brought greater security, Constantine was underlying using the image of God to consolidate for years of lacking empiric power and true authority. He was using the image of God to strengthen his kingdom, but in his eyes, for power and control, while the citizens saw it as a rebellion act of the idols. And here's the thing, it's like God saying he made evil, and so many people are like, oh, why is Lucifer a thing? If God's so loving, why doesn't he have why does he just destroy him, right? It's Batman Joker, bro. You need a good and a bad. Without the bad, you wouldn't see the good. And it's like, haha, cliche movie, but without the bad, you honestly can't have people free will turn to the good upon their own choice. If God just made everything haha good and jolly, do you really love him? If someone kidnaps you and forces you to love them, do you really love them? That's not love, bro. That's not free will. If you randomly in a timeline found the same person who kidnapped you in the other timeline, but this time they were normal as fuck and you guys fell in love, that's true love. That's free will, true love. God has a sense of humor. So although the evil thinks they're winning and they're using God's image to destroy the earth or gain power, whatever it may be, God has a plan, and the plan was seceding because it was growing Christianity in a place that was literally killing people who were worshiping. No matter what the real reason is, however, the theory that I'm promoting is like linear to the situation. God's plan will not be mocked. As even if things look gloom and evil as it is, using good for the wrong reasons, God's plan is pure. By Rome using Christ to gain political influences, only further grew the image of Christ. Remember, never stop holding that power. Never stop walking around with that faith. Because even if someone sees it as a negative or using the false image as a negative, the word is still growing in someone as a seed to a plant. Over around the world, low-key, the image of Christ and Lent is not even just celebrated in just one religion. It's weird because they say that a lot of like people, different groups of religion argue about what version of religion kind of Jesus is. And I know I'm going slow on this because I'm not trying to get my words misconstrued. God is not a religion. Now, I'm gonna get a lot of people saying, oh my God, he was a Jew, he started Christianity. Yeah, the body did. We know that. The body did. Jesus was a savior, but he was also a punishment for God. He lowered himself into our realm of dust and sin to show us that it's possible to live as pure as he did, in that in our state, in our mortal fleshly body. He brought us teachings and viewpoints that we gathered up and grouped together like a team sport. There's different versions the thing is, if you test the waters, man, if you believe in Jesus and you want to see if someone else does, bring it up, check their face out, see their reaction, but if they admit that Jesus is Lord, or they just mention Jesus, here's the thing, evil won't purposely just bring that up, they'll try to mock it in a sense, but like, you'll get the vibe, you'll get a good vibe, you gotta just test the waters, man. If it's rough and unpure, you'll know. Catholic, Orthodox, Lutheran, Anglican, Methodist, you believe in Jesus? Alright, cool. But you gotta remember, stop worshiping the body and worship the soul that he's spraying on all of us, the water. Fast forward a little bit, man. Shit, I'm upset. In later years, remember, it's not even been that long since it's been legalized. The emperor knew that he needed a council in place. 325 AD, man. Council of Nika and Roman Christian groups appointed bishops of Constantine. Now, they're the ones that decided the 40 days being in perfect relation with Jesus and perfect trials of temptations through Moses and Elijah as well when they went off into the caves for their 40-day fast. 40-day cycle of the water surrounding earth. The 40 days God Adam and Eve alone to wander the earth before you decided to help. The 40 days Jacob was running from his brother. All those things, the 40 days, God has specific numbers. Just like all those huge religious figures in their fasts, so shall we fast. The council declares during the 40 days, those who participated to eat once a day and prayed peacefully. Back then, it was only a food item because times have changed. So there's many things people indulge in now. Back then, it was just like food was the main seceder of things. Alcohol too, but assumedly a lot of people who are already following in faith of Christ at that time period were not alcoholics. So eventually add a midday snack for energy during work activities. You gotta keep that blood pressure up or low or whatever. You gotta keep it going, bro. Keep that blood flowing. Adding to this tradition as well was the denial of fish consumption. That's the meat that majority of people ate. And now in modern times, all meat on the days of Friday throughout the 40 days are represented as the consumption of fast up to the Good Friday. So every Friday we don't eat any type of meat. Modern times there's a supply of types of meat. So now anyone who participates, we don't eat any type of meat on Fridays. And some people go 100%, and I'm proud of you. I would be a liar if I would say that sometimes I wouldn't forget, and then I'll be like, oh my God, today's Friday, damn, I'm sorry. That's when you have to repent, Just continue not eating meat for the rest of the day. But just let him know that you fucked up. Let him know that because he already knows. He just wants you to know that he knows that you know. St. Irenaeus once wrote in a letter to Pope St. Victor about the pre-eating fast note, quote, variation and absorption did not originate in our own day, end quote, implying that leaders of the old time did propose the absence of personal vices during that time period as well. But majority of the people gave up a food item because they knew that particular food item was their joy throughout that year, because once again there wasn't many activities or various things to do at the time. So let's restate. Every Friday, no meat consumption of any kind preceding the last week of Jesus' fast. However, before I go on, let's remember he was tempted just as us, as we are all on the daily. Written in books of Matthew, Mark, and Luke in variations, yet similarly, since they're interpreted different by different people. Everybody's viewed differently, and when they hear a story, it's viewed differently. The story goes, the angel Lightbringer tempted Jesus, the morning star, 3 ways. God's holy number. 3. The first was in human hunger. Turn this rock into bread. Don't pick earthly comforts over God. God will always provide comfort when he sees that you're ready to enjoy that comfort without abusing it. Second, it was in the way of testing one's faith. Jump from this height and let the angels catch you off oneself. Man, come on, bro. You're gonna claim miracles by force? You ever notice every time someone prophesies a date of the end of the world and they're wrong? Simple as that, bro. Don't play chicken with the Lord. Plus, Jesus is 1/3 of God's Trinity. Why would he play games with his own ability to fucking save himself? Or anyone in general. That's not a game. Now, bro. Lastly, 3. And only because Lucifer was getting scared of Jesus standing on business, he offered power to rule all of Earth's kingdoms. In exchange, all Jesus had to do was bow, right? That's like a blackjack dealer offering more cash when he knows he holds up no aces. That's like a fired employee telling the boss when to come into work, bro. It's goofy as hell. Like I said, Jesus is God, the Earth's creator, the King of Kings. Y'all remember King Harold sent out orcs to kill children because he too feared the phrase, Lucifer brought darkness for light to shine in? Jesus' names alone is power, might, and armor, bro. Given to us like free will, just as Jesus gave all the earth to Lucifer. Nah, bow. Have all of it, bro. I don't want that shit. I want the souls that it's holding. Yeah, another sacrifice in disguise. Remember, evil may rule, however, you have choice to not let it rule you. Jesus sat there, basically said, checkmate ratio, bro. At the blackjack table, full house, one gave all the chips back, still a winner, walked out, blew up the place. Fireworks in behind him. He lit a cigar. No, I'm just playing about that last part. Sounds bad. However, he doesn't want the money, bro. Because it turns out he was the casino owner. It's all coming back to him. The house never loses. Now, after returning to his followers, that begins Holy Week. Alright, picture this. Palm Sunday, Jesus rides into Jerusalem on a donkey. Through a specific door that the Messiah was said to enter riding through a donkey, like Bum, the talking donkey. Alright, bro, no one saw that one and was like, oh my god, it's him. No, they would just chill. Alright, bro. Holy Monday, he had to go in and rest up real quick. Jesus threw hands in the temple, freeing animals in his father's house alike. Nothing shall be sold here, buddy. Alright, following up with Holy Tuesday, he's chilling in his dad's home. He's teaching all day. Holy Wednesday. Now, Judas betrays Jesus. let's slow this down real quick. I want to note that we all hate him, right? Right? But, like, let's be seriously. However, respect God's choice to choose him specifically. Like, get this. We all have own free will. Sad to say, however, Judas was Jesus' friend. He believed in his might, and that he was the Messiah. He all believed in that. Don't get that wrong, all right? However, because one believes in the cause, don't try to move forward. Don't try to rush the process, man. Don't try to twist the leader's hand because you want to say so. The leader is a leader for a reason because he knows when to push the fight. Overall, Judas just wanted Jesus to begin the Lord era. All Hebrews at the time believed that the Messiah would be that, Roman killing, mighty God, and, Jesus didn't play that role because it wasn't the time. Overall, he gave the realm to Lucifer, and in Judas' final moments, an act of regret, he offed himself instead of repenting. He died in that dusty state. In between all of that, Jesus was dining with his followers at the Last Supper on Maundy Thursday. I had to just skip back and forth a little bit because I wanted to relay to you that Judas was Jesus' friend. It's just like you can't push a movement before it's time. Good Friday is quite the paradox because many ask, why is it good, right? The day he was beaten, tried, unruly, and crucified. He sacrificed his life and gave up his spirit, the water that is rained down on all of us and gives us life on the daily. Man, it's funny we all say we time travel and save him, but we can't. In doing so, his spirit would not be given and received to us, man. One of those notes in the timeline, bro, that just had to happen. It was the Spider-Man moment. I'm sorry, bro. Builds character for all of us. That womp womp just changed the tone, right? But however, worship the spirit, man. Praise his body, but worship the spirit. All right, back to it. Holy Saturday, he is wrapped up and tombed. We have now the artifact, the Shroud of Turin, that's wrapped around his body, covering blood, and where it shows the markings of where he was beaten and abused. I want to get a t-shirt of this. This is raw. Look at this. It's raw in the sense that, like, it would make a cool t-shirt, and I can spread the word. And it's raw. It's a real artifact, bro. This is what was laying there after his essence flowed away from this earthly plane. I'll tell you what, man. Don't be sad, though. He's here. Resurrected Sunday. The true meaning of Easter, not some creepy ass bunny. Again, Jesus' essence flowed like water from the Shroud of Turin and appeared to his followers in the town and folks alike. God's true power, not some anything on earth, is not the true power, bro. Lucifer had nothing to offer. He still doesn't. Alright, cut it right there. Another side note. I want you to know, he revealed his spirit to the first person was Mary Magdalene. It was a woman. It was strategic, though. Telling her to tell the others. In these times, a woman's liability was not even anything worth hold up in water. Nothing compared to court. Like, nothing. Like, no one would believe anything a woman said. So she ran to tell the men. Now, you'd be like, why didn't Jesus just appear to the guys first? Because we needed to cement her word, not just any other guy, her word, a female that spread out to the guys. You might not think it's as powerful, but it is. Without her coming to the people first, it would just been another guy saying something. Oh, okay, like we crucified that guy, the Son of God, right? Haha, you saw the Son of God appear to you. Okay, no, to her, then to a bunch of guys. But it spread it to around the city that a woman saw it first. Then when Jesus actually started walking through the town, that cements it. Oh, she did see it first. However, it's important to note that Mary didn't really see Jesus. She was like lacking with faith, like you just saw the person you were following, the Son of God, get murdered. Now, what is it? Like, what happened, Was what you were listening to real? She literally saw him as a gardener. Then, currently, around the same time while this gardener was talking to Mary, the tomb was being opened. Well, it was opened. A group of women, followers, went to anoint Jesus, screaming about the body missing. Mary then snapped and saw in seconds of hope. Her faith rocked, running to town. That split second, she saw the gardener fade like a movie to Jesus, and she was realized, oh, it is him. He lives. That is why we sacrifice at least one vice. Our deepest hold to the material realm once a year, because he freed us from the material realm. Eric Ferris, founder of the Lent experience, once stated, you can observe 1,000 Lents, and it won't be ever accomplishable to what the cross did to Jesus, because it wouldn't. Without that, we wouldn't have Lent. Without that, we wouldn't understand how important a sacrifice means. Overall, remember, you're gonna be tempted every day, especially through the 40 days. Wear your armor of God. You are his warrior. Use your faith. Announce it. And the devil will flee. Literally. With that being said, overall, just go about your day as you would normally. Do laundry, dishes, maybe even read more. I bought some books. Use this absence to become more present with activities. Help take your mind off things. Go somewhere else. Watch a movie, man. Examine your consciousness and actions. Use this time to be more cheerful. You're gonna be agitated. Mud to water type thing. Try spreading cheer. Not just like to your family, just random people. Just try to be happy. And lastly, all else fails, talk to God. He's there. I find it funny when I'm reading the Bible. I love poems, or psalms. I should know this. They're poems. Help pretend they're music, bro. Like, shit, I might read a page right now and put a beat on low key. Alright, in conclusion, fasting is justice towards oneself. Prayer is justice towards God. And reflection, or almsgiving, being kind to people, is justice to all. Put on your armor of God and use your power